feel like I should just sit down. That was fantastic. And for my friends in the front here, yes, I have been slimed. And if you ever get a chance to be slimed, say yes. It is fantastic, and it washes right out. When my first grandchild was born on the 4th of July, I am kind of a shallow media executive. I raced out and bought American flags. And I went to her crib, and I wrapped her in the American flag, and I stuffed American flags in her fists. And I thought, what an opportunity. I am so bent on getting women elected to office, I am going to start this kid early. And my daughter and son-in-law had the good sense to name her Eleanor. And so for years, I went around saying, I'm going to fix her up with a Roosevelt. I know that's not a very feminist thing to say, but I told everybody, if you know a Roosevelt, please, we have to get this arranged, because who is not going to vote for Eleanor Roosevelt, born on the 4th of July? And so 4 years later, we were on Amtrak going to Washington. It was Ellie's first trip to Washington, and I heard my son-in-law, Greg Podunovich, say to her, Ellie, Grandma says that she's going to run you for president. Do you even want to be president? She's 4 years old. Okay, that's really young. She turned to her dad and she said, oh, I'm going to be president. But I'm going to be smart, helpful, and tough. Think about that. I am going to be smart, helpful, and tough. I'm going to be a good president. I'm not going to say who was president right then, but if you can do math, you can figure it out. So this award means an amazing amount to me, not just because this dais is filled with such amazing people. And by the way, Diana swam last night at 11:30. It's the first time I've been to a dinner party where somebody put on a bathing suit. I grew up in an Eleanor Roosevelt worshiping home. We were taught that women were strong, resourceful, and could be counted on. That when women supported each other, great things could happen. We saw our mother, and yes, also our father, take women under their wing and encourage them to do really big things. As I started to be successful in business, my schedule got a little unmanageable, and my assistant, Ed Flathers, who knew I really, in my heart, wanted to help young women, but knew I didn't need another meal or another meeting, started to tell people, if you want to get advice, you have to walk her around Central Park at 7 a.m. Mondays and Fridays, you can get a slot. And I think he thought I was a racehorse. But in any case, people signed up, and it was a great way to help people because you're outside, you're getting exercise, you're thinking big. Years later, when we were launching a show at Oxygen and we wanted a distinct way of doing it, I said, hey, let's do a big mentors walk. Because, again, I mentioned I'm a shallow media person. I wanted to change the perception that women don't help each other. So I called 100 of my friends, and it honestly really helps that some of those Vassar grads like Meryl Streep and Linda Fairstein came that first year. 100 of them. And then we had 300 young women, and we got on Good Morning America, and it was fantastic. And as Linda said, it's spread around the world now. I see Valkill itself as an enduring lesson. Eleanor brought women here to work together, to think together, to be encouraged together. And frankly, when the smart, helpful, and tough get together, unfettered by conventional thought, things just might change. I know that there is nothing like the courage of someone who can put self-interest aside in order to make the world a better place. And to me, that is Eleanor's enduring lesson to the world. I want to thank this great organization for keeping Eleanor and Valkill front and center. And I just have one more thing to say. If Eleanor, born on the 4th of July, does decide to run, will you support her? Thank you.